Robert G. Conley here. I last weekend I had some friends pondering whether or not the new host of Jeopardy had been named, and it got me thinking about one of my favorite topics, and that is my saying that general knowledge plays, specific knowledge pays, and Jeopardy is a great example of general knowledge. And in reality, it's actually like the most rudimentary part of being an effective human being. It's where learning begins. It's not where learning ends. So remembering is the first step. So I want to give you 6 steps to building specific knowledge and becoming powerful in the marketplace. And when I say powerful, I don't remember, just as when I talk about advantages, your job is not to take advantage, it is to give advantage. And when I say powerful, it's your ability to deliver results. It's to be powerful in the marketplace. And so the important thing to being powerful is building specific knowledge. Remembering, anybody who has gone to school, everybody is forced to, for the most part, memorize a certain set of common facts. And that doesn't make you stand out. And so the first step in after remembering is to understand what the facts mean. And the thing is that this is especially applicable I shouldn't say especially, anything that involves performance, whether it's performing a job or whether it's performing on stage, requires physically going through it. You can't just read about something. You can't read about stand-up comedy. You can't read about, building or woodworking and be a good worker or be a good stand-up comedian. You need to learn and remember what you've done, and then the next step, understand what that tells you. But all that does is prepare you to use the saw or prepare you to go up on stage. It prepares you to start being effective. It doesn't make you effective. And so after understanding is the next step, which I said, is apply. Apply what you understand. And this is, again, where it seems so rudimentary to many of us and so simple, but it's where people stumble, because applying involves trial and error. And what does trial and error involve? The possibility of failing. And so that step of just, I'm going to apply what I understand. I'm going to see if this works. And I'm not saying doing this recklessly. I'm doing it with all the preparation that you can muster in order to ensure success in whatever it is you're trying to master, but you need to apply it. And so, if you're in a sales job, what does applying it mean? It means going out and calling on customers. It might mean cold calling. It might mean retouching. It means putting into action physically observable activity. And once you engage in that, the next step to specific knowledge, to specifically knowing what works and doesn't work, is to analyze your actions. And so if you go and make 50 cold calls every day for a month, you look back and analyze what worked and didn't work. And in saying that, the way I said it, it was intentional. You don't go back every day. You don't go back every hour. Oh, here's what worked. Here's what didn't work. You go back at timeframes in which you have enough experience, you've applied it enough to now make an intelligent analysis of what works and doesn't work. So analyze what works, analyze what doesn't work. And the natural outcome of analyzing is evaluation. Again, evaluate. And that's where you make the decisions of, I'm not going to do this, I am going to do this. But it's consciously going through this evaluation. And again, as I say this to you, I don't know if it strikes you. I mean, hopefully I'm not insulting anyone with the simplicity of this, but it's something that day to day, so many of us, and I'm guilty of it too, I'm not pointing fingers. So many of us in our hectic day, we don't continue to grow our prowess, our power, our specific knowledge because we don't take the time to do these things and to evaluate. So evaluating, it's culling, it's get rid of what doesn't work, keep what does work. But also you've now built by trial and error, by firsthand experience, you know with a level of certainty what doesn't work, which is equally important to knowing what does work. This is where you become a very confident professional. And then here's the payoff. And this payoff is the one that elevates you in the marketplace, because if you will, and this doesn't happen overnight, it can take years. But if you will engage in this as an adventure and as an exploration, you can make it to be very enjoyable, and you can also end up being a very proficient person. And that is when you allow your brain to process all this information and create new solutions. Take all this information of works, doesn't work, optimize things, innovate things, create new products, approaches, solutions, mindsets. And it is in that creation that you become a 1 or 2%er in your field. You become that known person who's like, wow, we don't know how she does it, but she always comes up with something good. We don't know how she gets those clients, but she gets them. We don't know how he builds that contraption, but he does. And so it's in that final, it's the being present to the mundane, to those mundane actions of applying, of analyzing, of evaluating, that then lead to this really cool place of being creative and innovative and a leader in your field. I'm Robert J. Conley. I hope that helped. See you next time.